Hey loves, and welcome back to the channel. And in today's video I'll be making this open back tiered cotton maxi dress, and I was inspired by this dress up here, but then I added a little bit details to make it personal, like the shoulder straps and the open back details. I find this dress so pretty. Like, since it's summer, you can wear it to the beach or dress it up. Let me know in the comments where you would wear this dress too. So if this is something you would like to see, then let's get right into today's video, and make sure you watch until the end to see how it looks on. I'll be using my basic bodice patterns, the front and the back. You can use any bodice block pattern you have. It doesn't have to be exactly like mine. This is what I have, that is why I'm going to use it. So if you want to also use exactly like mine, I have a tutorial on my channel, you can check it out. But with that said, I will now go ahead and trace this onto my pattern paper, and then from there we move on to the drafting process. So now this is my front pattern, and with this you choose what you want to do with the dart. So what I would do first is to come down the neckline about 4.5 inches, depending on how low you want to go. So I would do 4.5 inches, and then I will draw the line to the armhole. Like that, and then at the armhole I will come down 1 to 1.5 inches. That also depends on you. And then from here you measure the width of your chest, and mine is 11, so 11 divided by 2, because this is half of the front. So 11 divided by 2 would give me 5.5 inches. So that would be the width of my chest. So 5.5 like this is 11 inches. So I would mark that. And you can see that we have the dart here, which will be closing. So it's good that you measure the dart. And mine is 9, so I would add it here. So that by the time I closed this dart, I wouldn't be short of the chest measurement, just so you know. So I will add that, and then I will shape the armhole. And then I will extend it to the side seam allowance. So this is basically how the front will look like. And if you don't want this dart here, you can transfer it to the side seam. It doesn't matter. Like, if you want it here also, you can make it so that it becomes like a princess seam, or you get it. Yeah. So with this we have the front done. So I want to transfer that over here to the side. So what I'll do is to draw a line here like this, and then I will cut this off. So we don't need the upper part anymore. This is all we need now. So I will transfer this dart here over here. So I will slash through this line. and then close this dart. And this is what we have for the front bodice. You can put a paper here just to cover this side. So for the back, what I'll be doing is to just match the armhole. So I'll measure how long this is, and it's 8 inches. So remember, we came down 1.5 inch at the armhole for the front, so I will take that out, and then I took away the 1.5 inches here, and now I have 8 inches. So with the back, let me take out the side seam allowance, that we know the area where we are working with. I already have side seam allowances on this pattern, so if you don't have it, you don't need to do this. So 1.5 inches away, and then I will shape the back like this. So there is not much at the back, you have to take note of that. And then I'll connect this to the side seam allowance. So this will be the side seam allowance. So this is all I'll need for the back, and I'll go over it so you can see clearly. So this is the side seam. I will cut it out. So this is not needed anymore, and this is also our front. So you can choose to make it a bit shorter or even longer. So this is all we have to do for the patterns, and what I'm going to do is to cut rectangles for the tier. Also with the tier, you can decide to make your dress short or longer depending on how much fabric you have. So I would go ahead and cut the tiers, and then I will show you and explain to you what I did. So with the tiers, I'll be cutting them straight on the fabric, and I'll be using this bed sheet, that cotton bed sheet that I got from the store. It was €5.99, so I decided to work with it and see how it looks like, and I think it's going to be really nice because it's a cotton fabric. So this is how it looks. You can see that it's really thick and nice. So I would iron it out and then cut out the tiers and then show you guys and tell you the measurements and everything that I used in cutting them. So now that the tiers have been cut out, I will leave the top pieces on the fabric and cut them out. So I would cut 2 of each. I'll cut 4 of these and 2 of the front because I want to use the same fabric to line it. So that is what I'm going to do now. This will be cut on folds and 4 of this. So yeah, I'll do that and we'll move on to the next step. So now I have everything cut out, my 4-layer tiers, the first, second, third and fourth, and then I have my top pieces as well. This is 2 of the front pieces with the dots marked out, and then 4 pieces for the back. So yeah, and I already put the measurement for the tier on the screen, as you already saw. So I cut 2 of each tier because one for the front and one for the back. You can cut them together if you want, but I feel like it's more nicer and neater when there are 2 seams on the sides. That is why I cut 2 for each of them. So now I'm going to, and then I also did cut some straps for the shoulders. So yeah, that is all I need for this dress. So what I'm going to do now is to stitch the dots on the front, all of them, and join the sides also. The back, I'll join the side seams. So after I stitch the dot, I will join the back to the front, and then with the tiers I'll be making basting stitches on all of them. So I will do that and then get back to you guys. Then we move to the next step. So this is how far I've come with the top part of the dress. That has been stitched on both of them, and also the side has been attached and ironed really nicely. So you know there is just a little piece at the back. So this is what they both look like. They are both the same thing. So with the next step, I'm going to put this aside and start working on the tiers. So with the tiers, I did run basting stitches on all of them except for the upper back tier. That I'll be putting an elastic there, so that's why I didn't do the basting stitches. So I'll put that aside and go pull all the threads to form gathers on all my tier pieces. So yeah, let's do that and get back. So now that the goddess has been done, what I'm going to do next is to attach all the tiers. So I'm going to fix them in order. So I will pin the first tier to the second tier, and then to the third one and to the fourth one. I have 4 tiers, so that is what I'm going to do now. I'll do that for both the front and the back, and then I will stitch all the seams. This is how it looks after it has been stitched together. This is the back piece. You can see that the waist hasn't been gathered yet, and this is the front piece. You can see that the waist has been gathered already. So yeah, this is how they both look like. So what I'm going to do now is to use the serger to finish all the raw edges on both the front and back pieces of the skirt. So let's do that, and then we'll move on to the next step. This is how it looks after it has been finished. So what I'm going to do next is to put the two pieces together, right sides facing, and then stitch the sides. So I'll be stitching 1/2 inch on both sides. So that is what I'm going to do now, and then after doing that, I would finish also the side seams with my serger. So this is how the skirt is looking like right now. This is the front part, and the back side is still straight like this. So now the skirt is almost ready. I'll set this aside and I'll start working on the top. With the top, we have two, one for the outer part and one for the lining part. So what I'm going to do now is to attach the straps here. I will attach the straps here about 1/2 inch from the corner, and then same here. And then I'll face it with the other one. So what I'm going to do now is to stitch from the lower back through to the front and then down to the lower back again. So this is how the top looks down with the straps attached to the upper part. I will attach the other strap here later on, but now what I'm going to do is to attach the waistline of the top to the waistline of the skirt. So this is the skirt and this is the front waistline. The back is still straight, so right sides facing, I would attach the waist. I will put the waist together, so side seam to side seam. Then I will try to ease the gathers into the waist, or to ease it to fit the waist of the top. From here until this side. So I will do that and get back to you guys. So now that the waist of the top has been attached to the skirt, what I'm going to do is to attach the elastic band at the back side of the waist. So what I will do now, but before, you can see that I've already finished the raw edges over there at the waist. So what I'm going to do now is to stitch in the allowance at the back, which is 1/2 inch, and then when that is stitched, I will then insert my elastic band in the loop that the hemming creates. So that will serve as a loop or a channel for me to insert the elastic band. And I did cut an elastic band half of my waist measurements because it's half of the waist, so for the back is half. So yeah, that is why I did cut half. So that is what I'm going to do. So now the loop has been done, so I would go ahead and put in my elastic band. This is how it looks now, and I will go ahead and secure the ends of the elastic band so they don't come out. And what I'll do also is to attach the other two straps to this side of the dress or of the top, like that. And then I would hem the dress and we will be done. So after that, then I will show you how the dress looks on.